Yeah, Mr. 100 Creations, Where Chapel's finest. Yeah, land of the pimps and the crips, man. But don't get lost out here, man. Cause they trying to trap you up. Don't get lost out here, man. It's all a fugazi, man.
Rain, please don't rain on me. Don't let the pain rain down on me. Pain, please don't rain on me. Don't let the pain rain down on me.
Mama taught me right, the street pull was stronger. How do I change my life when the beast in me keeps taking over? The world weight on my shoulders, compress hate makes me colder. Feel like I'm breaking bad like dude did New Mexico, bro. Can't hold up too much longer, I'm about to blow a pipe. Lord, I keep trying to phone you, but I know that I ain't living right. But now I see it clearly, the strength was always in me. I just ignore the signs that you were clearly trying to send me. Oh Lord, why do they envy what I have grown to be? Maybe the soul is empty like that it waits in me. Then the pain starts coming, the rain and the thundering, lost in a hurricane towards my mind and keeps it wondering, why am I always losing? This life is so confusing. Could it be simply the path that I'm always choosing? Maybe I'll never know, probably forever wonder, until the rain slow, I'ma find some shelter and take up cover.
Pain, please don't rain on me. Don't let the pain rain down on me.
Some people were ignored, some were forgotten, but every story still matters. And for those of you who feel as if you have been, this is dismissed.
Hey, how y'all doing? We back. Today this is Mr. 100 Creations, back with another episode of Dismiss. Today we have the um the former heavyweight champion of the world, Oliver McCall, here giving his life story, and we're gonna see what he got to say to us today, and everybody enjoy. I want y'all to like, subscribe, and share this video. So let's get into it.
How you doing? I'm Oliver McCall. It's going to be a little weird because my life story goes in so many different ways. So, it's kind of hard to know where to start. So,
Well, let's basically start about where you was born.
okay.
We can start there.
I was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1965, April 21st. Uh, I was 13 pounds. I think I was 13 pounds. I was the biggest of the family, out of all the siblings, all my siblings. My brother Frank, we have the same dad, Henry McCall, Jr., and he was 12 pounds, so he was a big dude too, a big baby and everything or whatnot. So that's my birth part. So yeah, I was the youngest of nine. Uh, the youngest of five boys, so I had four brothers and four sisters. Uh, so that's how my birth, back in my,
Right.
when I was born.
So basically, like how was it coming up? Coming up in Chicago. I mean, was your dad there?
Whew. Well, coming up in Chicago, uh, going back to my earliest years of me remembering, I was on Michigan Avenue. I think it was like 39th, 40th in Michigan Avenue, uh, on the south side of Chicago. 40th Indiana, it was a train station, 40th Indiana. Those that live in Chicago know about that area. Uh, my dad was a bouncer
Okay.
at the Peyton Place. It was a big, it was a nice, stylish type club like the Godfather. It was one of the, I would say, it was definitely in the top 7 or 8 clubs in Chicago at that time. They had the Godfather 1 and 2 and the Green Bunny and clubs of that nature, back where the people, the black folks more or less hung out at, the top-notch black folks. And so my dad, he was very known. My grandfather moved there. They came there because of my uncle. I think my uncle Frank, my great uncle, he had done something to a white guy in Mississippi, and they had to leave, and they came up north. So that's how we migrated from Mississippi on down to Chicago, Illinois. And my great uncle Frank was no joke, very serious guy. And my uncle, I mean my granddad, was his older brother, Henry McCall Sr. Uh, he was a professional baseball player. He played professional baseball in the Negro League. Uh, Henry McCall Sr. I think you could Google him too, yeah. And he boxed a little bit. And when I was little, by me knowing that he boxed, and my dad was a boxing buff. I mean, my dad was a hustler, pool sharp. He also was a bouncer, you know, and he was a no nonsense type of guy, you know, very highly respected by all the head gang leaders. He also was highly respected by all the basically the police, because the police came in, you know, because he was a bouncer at the club, so he knew both sides. And he was pretty much highly respected in the neighborhood. Period. They called him Big Mac after the burger, you know, Big Mac.
Right, gotcha.
And I can recall in my lifetime, my dad I never saw nobody disrespect my dad. I always used to wonder why, you know. And it's like as I grew older, of course he was in, you know, he was in. He was definitely in.
You definitely plugged in with the streets.
Right, on both sides.
On both sides, right.
All right, on both sides, you know. And so me and my brother, when I was like 9 or 10 years old, at the Peyton place, after the club be done and everybody go home, that next morning, sometime me and my brother would go to the Peyton place and clean up, you know, and we found a lot of different stuff there. And this was not knowing that it was going to take effect on me in a negative way to a certain point, but then in a positive way also, you know, it's with me now, you know, as far as that.
So, like, what kind of things did you find that you know, that basically you say shaped you or took effect on you?
Ooh, all types of drugs, all types of needles, all types of money, all types of things.
Right.
And you know, and we usually would take it to our dad and say, Dad, look what we found. And my dad would take it and say, give me that, son. You know, he'd take it. And we didn't know what my dad done with it. But my dad was, like I said, he'd just say, just if you find something there, just give it to me, and you know. And my dad would we would also sit in the pool room, and my dad would hustle. And we're sitting there for 3, 4, 5 hours. And people would come in there, and he'd give them 2 balls off. Some of them come in there. He said, "I give you 5 balls off." And I used to wonder, like, 5 balls off? What are you talking about? And then some guys come in there and say, you know, we got to play straight up. And they say, all right, let's play, you know. But make a long story short, when we did leave the pool room, and we go to a restaurant, and we know that our dad didn't come up. You know, we know he made, you know, he came up and everything.
Right. So, how old were you around this time?
11, 12, 13. Up to 13. When I was 13, that's when I ended up going to Racine, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I ditched school, and one day I went to the movies, and I came back. I hopped the L, come back, and my dad saw me. He just happened to be traveling that day, and I knew I was gonna get a whooping from my dad, and I should have took that whooping. I should have went ahead and got that whooping, and I ended up walking to the right on 35th in Indiana. It went on 35th and State Street. It was a McDonald's right by where you get on a train on 35th Street, and I ended up calling my dad, and Dad said, "Son, come home, get this whooping." I say, "Dad, I ain't gonna be able to take this whooping. I said, Dad, I got to go. So I was 13 years old. And my dad like, son, come on now, come on home, get this whooping. Now you know you gotta take. I'm like, Dad, I'm going, I'm gonna go, going to Mama's. Now my mother lived in Racine, Wisconsin. I'm on 35th and at right there on 35th and State Street. I hung up the phone and I rode the train to the end of the line, going back to all the way to the end of the line in Chicago. And then I rode it all the way back to the south side to the end of the line till that morning came. Now, my dad used to send us to see my mom, me and my brother Frank, on a Greyhound bus. And I knew how that system was. He'd take us to the Greyhound bus. I knew where the Greyhound bus be at. I knew where's all that. I rode the bus. I rode the train to about 7, 8 in the morning. And I went to the bus station terminal. I knew to go in the back with the way where the bus actually come out the terminal instead of so I could go in where they supposed to get the tickets, but I don't even supposed to be down there.
Right, got you.
I went in back.
Right, okay.
I knew what bus. I knew to go back to the bathroom, and I got on the bus and went to the bathroom and stayed there until I heard the bus going toward Racine, Wisconsin. And I went. Then I got off the bus and I walked to my mom's house. And when I walked to my mom's house, my mom was like, "What you doing here, boy?" And I'm like, "Mama, well, Dad, you know." And then I told her the story. I lied and told her, "Well, Dad, Lisa, because my dad had a young girlfriend named Lisa, and uh, I blamed it kind of, manipulated. I just blamed it on her." And so then that's when she called my dad, and she already knew. Oh, it was that woman. And then he was like, no, he supposed to came home, got that whooping for ditching school and everything. And I didn't want to take that whooping. I really didn't take. I didn't want to take that whooping. And instead, I ended up. My mama enrolled me in Jerstead Junior High.
Okay.
I lived on 3 Mile Road. I used to live on 3 Mile Road, and that's how that part there came about.
Right.
You know. Mm-mm.
So how what was the difference? Like, so you was basically saying you should have took the whooping. So what was the difference of, you know, coming from I guess that structure, that discipline from your pops, from Chicago to going to your mother where you're trying to basically escape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to escape, man. And it was kind of hard because I always wanted my mom and my dad to be together. So I was going through some crazy little problems there as
Right.
far as my mom and my dad, because my mom used to always blame my dad for them breaking up, and then my dad blamed my mom. And I'm like, both of y'all, and I always wanted them to be married. It was like one of those things. And by me being the youngest of 9, and back then, my oldest sisters basically was moved out basically. Uh, and back then, yeah, Gail had my oldest sister Gail had moved was in transition of moving herself. Uh, but then my sister Bonnie and Joyce kind of took care of me like a mom out of my sisters.
Yeah.
My sister Joyce, gravitated and really took me in where she was like mama to me. My sister Joyce was like mama to me back in those days. Uh,
So
so
are these sisters in Racine at the time? That you know
uh,
when you went down there, like basically when you left from your pops.
yeah,
So
yes, yeah, basically.
so most of your family, other than you and your brother Frank, they're pretty much in Racine.
Right.
Okay.
Racine, Rockford, around there.
Okay.
Yeah, Racine and Rockford.
Rockford, Illinois. Okay.
Yeah, Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
And so that's where they was at there. I left when I left to move with my dad. I was in Rockville, Illinois.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I left when I was 9 years old and uh, and moved to Chicago to live with my dad.
Hmm.
And I lived with my dad from 9 to 13. To that day, uh, I was I did school and went to see movies and everything, and got caught going and see a movie instead of going to school.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you think that? So, I heard like basically that, you know, that your mother and your father splitting had an effect on you. So, when, like, around when did you experience, start realizing that, you was a fighter, that, like, fighting just became a thing? Because I do know that you said you had 8 other siblings, so,
Right.
and you're the youngest, so,
Right.
usually you have, a lot of protection there. So,
Right.
um,
Well,
when did you realize you was the fighter?
I realized my dad was a boxing buff.
Hmm.
My granddad, he played professional baseball, but then he did box a little bit. So by my dad and my granddad, like I say, my granddad owned a shoe shine spot in Chicago, right under the L on 40th and Indiana. So all the people in the neighborhood that got their shoe shine before they go to the club went to my grandfather's shoe shine place.
Hmm.
And they gambled, they had it going on. Like I said, my granddad and my dad was more, they was one no joke. And my uncle he was very highly respected. So, but anyway, I guess when I went to Racine, boxing, I liked it boxing. I had an older brother, and we put on the gloves one day, and he's about 2.5, almost 3 years older than me. His name Frank McCall, and we boxed one day, and I remember hitting him in the nose, and I busted his nose, and I knew he was about to beat me up for real, for real.
Right. Yeah.
He looked at me thinking, "Let's box again." I said, "No, we not gonna box again. You finna beat me up."
Right, right. I done got a lucky one in.
Right, exactly. And my brother Frank was a no nonsense. My brother Frank used to take up for me because I used to didn't like to fight.
Gotcha. Okay.
And when boys would pick on me about me running my mouth, hey, my brother would I know my brother would whoop 3, 4 at a time.
Yeah.
And I was going to Henry Horner Elementary School at that time, where he said, "This my little brother," and my brother Frank was no joke. He could fight now. He could street fight. But at that time, we put on gloves, and it was by the rules. It's a difference.
Hmm.
And by the rules, I was like, and I just happened to just pop him in the nose. And once his nose started bleeding, I could look at my brothers like, this ain't meant to be no boxing match no more. He's gonna beat me up. But so I didn't. He spared me.
Right. Gotcha.
But his thing was basketball. He was a Horlick Rebel. He played for the Horlick high school basketball team in Racine, Wisconsin,
Hmm.
and he could play basketball very good. Matter of fact, they got on a video of me and Shaquille O'Neal boxing. It's on the video with Shaquille O'Neal boxing with me.
Hmm.
But before me and Shaquille O'Neal ever boxed, before I even met Shaquille O'Neal knew my brother Frank. He
Okay.
know my brother Frank.
Got it. Okay.
My brother Frank played basketball with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Because he told me, I was like, Shaquille O'Neal. He's like, my brother said, yeah, man, I used to play ball with Shaquille O'Neal. We used to play games together. And my brother could play exceptionally well. I mean,
Mhm.
he still can play exceptionally well.
Yeah, I heard you had a little skills too on that court.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one day,
Before boxing, I heard basketball was actually kind of your thing.
yeah. And let me tell you a story that did happen. Because my brother used to always beat me in basketball. And so as the years went by, my basketball skills increased and developed. And when I became heavyweight champion of the world, me, Lee Holiday, and my brother Frank Price, that's his name, Frank Price, Frank McCall Price, Frank Price McCall. Anyway, so I say, Frank, I could beat you now. And my brother looked at me. And I'm the champion of the world now. But I'm like, brother Frank, I could beat you playing basketball. And my brother looked at me and laughed like, Deke, I know you can beat me boxing now. I know that. Now, that's great. But he said, Deke, you can. I say, yeah. So me, him, and Lee Holiday played a game of horse. But Lee Holiday was in the game.
Mhm.
And by Lee Holiday being in the game, it kind of threw me off for me focusing on my brother. Of me beating him. Now I got to beat him and my brother.
Right.
And he, and, you know, so I didn't win the game. So I stopped. I said, yo, I said, no. I say, Frank. I say, Lee Holiday. I say, get out the game. I say, Frank. I said, we going to play again. I said, we going to play horse again. He said, he looking at me like, Deke, I told you I could beat you. I
Right.
looked at my brother. I got the ball. I say, who shoot first? He like, go first, go first, go first. Now, you know when the horse you shoot, unless you miss the shot, the other guy get the goal.
Exactly.
And I looked at my brother. I said, I get to go first? He said, yeah, yeah, I'm finna show you. I looked at him and I remember telling him, I said, you ain't gonna get to shoot.
Mhm.
He looked at me weird, like, what, you crazy? I went to the 3-point line and I started from one end. I hit the ball, pop. And my brother hit, wow. I hit about 2, 3 more, wow, wow. He hit again, wow, wow. I about the 4th or 5th shot, I hit again. My brother missed, one, he missed. I said, give me the ball.
Mhm.
To make a long story short, I think I hit about, I know about between 13 to 15, somewhere around there. Straight 3 point all around. And I
Oh,
came all the way.
you was in the zone that day.
I was my focus was, dude,
Right.
you ain't gonna get this. You ain't gonna get to go first.
Right.
And when I won the game, my brother looked at me. I looked at him. I said, game.
Mhm.
I said, you didn't get the shot. You didn't get to beat me. And so and Lee Holiday was a witness to that.
Gotcha.
And so my brother looked at me and said, you know what, D? You could shoot. Now, as far as driving and dunking,
Mhm.
now my brother was with we.
Yeah, he was. Right. Right.
My brother knew how to throw that ball up and
So
somehow dunk it in the way where I can't leap like he leaped.
right. So kind of going back a little bit. So I mean, so we kind of talked about, you and your brother fighting or whatever. So like
Mhm.
kind of take me on the path of what actually just led you to choosing boxing as a career.
Okay,
How did
this how it happened. My girlfriend Alethea Anderson, that was her name.
Alicia?
Alethea Anderson.
Okay, gotcha.
I got up when I ran away from Racine. I ran away to Chicago. When I went to Chicago, I was well. Let me see. How old was I? I was 16. Yeah, I was 16 years old. I went to Chicago.
Hmm.
I saw Alethea. The second day I was in Chicago. Now I met Alethea in 1979, uh, February the 14th. Of 1979, I met Lethea for the first time in Chicago, Illinois, at the Youth Center on 39th or 40th, between 39th and Indiana. I mean, on Michigan Avenue, called the Youth Center. It's still there today.
Okay.
And then we danced and had a dance, and that was that one night, not knowing that I'm gonna go to the house, and I'm thinking she's gonna be my girlfriend and everything. But that's when I end up going to the movies and didn't take that whooping.
Right.
So I met Alethea that one time.
Hmm.
I went to Washington, Wisconsin. I came back at 16 years old. And when I got back to Chicago, I ended up seeing Alethea a couple of days and didn't realize that she was the girl that I danced with when I was 13.
Gotcha.
Now I found out a week later. But so when I got back to Chicago, we ended up hooking up, and I ended up getting her pregnant. She got pregnant.
Mm.
And when she got pregnant, I was 18. I was 18 years old. I was going on 18. Yep, 18. Yep, yep. Yep, going on. I was 17. Yep, going on 18 when Tawana was my first daughter, Tawana McCall. So she said, how you gonna take care of the baby? I say, well, I'm gonna go to Job Corps. And I went to Job Corps, Paducah, Kentucky. I remember going to Paducah, Kentucky to get a job so I could learn a trade.
Hmm.
I went to Paducah, Kentucky, and I took up a little something, and I ended up this guy named Clean. His name is Clean. He used to be in Chicago too. He lived in the same neighborhood I lived in. He was in the Job Corps too.
Gotcha.
So one day, something happened, and the dude wanted to fight me. So the dude said, "We going to wreck of the woods. We gonna fight."
And you're what? You said 18 at this time?
And I was like 17 going on
17,
18.
18. Okay.
This is
Okay, I
before
just want
my
the audience to know
right,
how fascinating, how great this is,
right,
because most boxers start like in their early teens, like
right. No,
11, 12, but you're
right.
17.
I'm
So go ahead.
17 going on 18.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I don't want to fight. I said, I don't fight. I went out there. I don't want to fight. My brother used to take up for me back when I was younger.
Hmm.
I'm like, man, I don't fight. So dude's like, no, you gonna fight now. So Clean said, Oliver, if you don't fight, man, they're gonna be picking on you all the time, man, this and that and other. I said, what? He said, yeah. So we went back out there to fight. I'm like, man, I got to fight? He said, yeah. I said, man. So I put my hand up. I never forget. I put my hand up. And the dude started doing all this. And so I'm like, what's up with this dude? He was, he put,
Animated with it.
oh, he was so animated. I just done like this. And when he saw that I was serious and I wasn't going back down, he stopped doing this and picked up a big old log.
Right. Oh, you see something in your eyes. Yeah, you see you
Listen,
fighting.
no, he stopped doing this and and when he got it, I'm like, what this dude doing? We supposed to be fighting. What are you picking up stuff for?
Right.
He picked up this log. I didn't know it was hollow and it was rotten.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, you just
But
see it. You see the stick.
right, a bit like what? Like big.
Hmm.
He's like, wait, and I done like this, like, wait a minute, he should have hit me with this. When I done this, and it was hollow because it was rotten,
Hmm.
and it broke over my arm. It's like that gave me some type of like, ooh, boy.
Yeah.
I said, dude, something came over me like, dude, because I was like, you want to fight? You trying? So now I said, come on, because everybody like, dude, you ain't trying to fight. You trying to fight dirty. I hit him one time, bye y'all, one time, boom, fight was over.
Right.
I got kicked out of Job Corps. I was riding the Amtrak train back from Paducah, Kentucky. I was like, man, I'm getting kicked out. They kicked me out. I was like, you know what? As I was riding that train, I'll never forget. I was like, what am I tell Alicia? She got a big belly.
Mm.
She finna be having my child soon. Cause she was pregnant. She was showing.
Right. Gotcha.
You
Gotcha.
know.
Hmm.
And
So that's definitely scary.
yeah. So I said, you know what? And it came to me. I said, well, since I got kicked out for fighting, I said, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna be a boxer. When I went to her, when I got there, she's like, you got kicked out. I said, yeah, what you get kicked out for? I said, I got kicked out for fighting. I had to fight. I had to fight. I'm trying to explain. I had to fight. I had to fight. What am I getting? You're supposed to do this. What my mama gonna say? I said, I don't know what your mama gonna say, but then, how we gonna take care of the baby? I looked at her, and this is what I told her.
Uh,
I said, Alethea, I said, give me 6 months.
mm.
I say, somebody gonna give me some money, and I'm gonna get paid to box. She looked at me real crazy like then, like 6 months?
Right.
How you gonna get paid? You need a job.
Right. Exactly.
And I told her, I said, give me 6 months. So I end up going. Now I did go to the gym one time because my dad talked to me about boxing, and it was on Sheridan Road where I went but I didn't fight because I did practice a little bit.
Mhm.
And this was before that I was 16 at that time, but I didn't fight no events or nothing. And the guy, it was because my dad was a doorman then, because he
Gotcha.
became a doorman,
Mhm.
and it was a guy that trained fighters that worked that lived in this building. And so he said, Deep, why don't you go ahead and you can make some money? You know, they'll pay you $400 and you fight. And I'm like, okay. I was only 16 then.
Okay.
And then I found out that if I would have fought that fight, I couldn't fight no amateur. I would have been pro. Because when you don't supposed to get paid to fight like that. And that's when that happened. But anyway, make a long story short, I went to the gym on what's that on 43rd Fuller Park. I went to Fuller Park.
Mm-hmm.
Fuller Park was it where was that? On Princeton. I think it was 43rd, 42nd, 43rd and Princeton Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, Fuller Park. And when I went there, uh, uh, Arthur Moore ended up training me and everything. And he taught me, he just had me doing this for a week.
And who is Optimore?
Arthur Moore is a trainer that was training at Fuller Park. They
Okay.
called him Black Moses. That's what that's what name he went by. His name was Arthur Moore.
Okay.
Now Ferg, his name was this other guy named Ferg, we called him Ferg. He was training. He was the head trainer of everybody in the gym. He called Ferg. Ferg was training and helping this guy named Leroy Murphy.
Okay.
Now, Leroy Murphy is a known fighter. He ended up becoming the cruiserweight champion of the world.
Yeah, I would say it sounds familiar.
Leroy Murphy also was a gold medal winner in the Olympics when we boycotted the Olympics back, I think in 1980. Yeah, 1980, because it couldn't be 1984. Yeah, it was the 1980 Olympics that we boycotted,
Okay.
and we had our own Olympics. And Leroy Murphy was the light heavyweight gold medal winner.
Okay.
So I went there, and Arthur Moore taught me how to fight. I mean, he had me, straight up basics,
Mm-hmm.
throwing a jab, and for a week, I got tired. Like, can I throw my right hand? No, dude. I didn't tell him I got 6 months now. I got to get paid.
Right. Yeah.
You got me all week.
It kind of reminds me of that movie with Jackie Chan and what is the Karate Kid or whatever. He put this coat on there. He got tired of it.
I mean, I was like, this here's gotta wait up here. I got to get some money. I hope that have a baby. So not knowing that was gonna be literally, that had so much to do with me never being knocked down. Because it taught me balance.
Mm-hmm.
It taught me some things now that I'm thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
So now here's the fight. Now the fight time comes. Jeff, this is a friend of mine named Jeff.
Okay.
Me and Jeff.
So let me ask you something.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
We're going right into the fight time.
Yeah, because it's about to have a fight.
What I want to ask is, did the sparring and all that come before the fight?
No, I ain't fought. No, I wasn't. No, wait up. I'm gonna spar way later. But
okay, gotcha.
Right,
okay, let me go.
Right
I
now,
didn't want to skip nothing.
No, he didn't. He wasn't put
I've
me.
Heard about these things. I just don't know the time.
He didn't put me in the ring to spar nobody.
I'm talking about your sparring career. Yeah, okay. All right, okay.
That's what he had me doing. I mean, for real.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the other fighters and trainers first. Hey, go ahead. He had this big old cigar. Hey. Leroy Murphy come in there. And I'm looking at guys get they fight on. I'm learning off looking at them, but I'm like, I can't do that because I'm supposed to keep doing this. Gotcha. And Arthur Moore study looking at me. Oliver? Yes, sir.
Keep that jab up.
Okay. So it's time to fight. He did let me get in there once or twice. Because, I'm finna fight in the Golden Gloves, and I'm a novice.
Okay.
I'm in the beginning. That means I'm finna box guys that had less than 10 amateur fights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing.
Right.
Whoever I do fight ain't gonna have a lot of experience. At least I knew that.
Right.
So me and Jeff, went and got me a 40 ounce of Old English
Mhm.
and guzzled it. And Jeff, we guzzled his beer and we went to the fights. Buzzed,
Right.
courage.
Trying to get rid of them nerves.
And I'm like, oh boy. And I got the win because I told Alicia, now I got a baby I got to take care of. So it was a lot. So I needed. And when I went there, glove up. I went and glove. This is my first fight. But now I'm feeling like, oh, I got to do this. Now I got to do this. I drink my drink. I got to do this. Now I got to win this fight. I have nothing else. I got to win this. So about the first round, it was going into it, but it was about 2 minutes in the first round. That's when it really hit me. I was getting tired.
Mm.
I could tell the beer. And I was like, and reality hit me like this. I ain't gonna be no second round because I'm too tired to go a second round. This what went through my mind. I was like, ooh, I ain't gonna be no second round. And some say, Oliver, hit him one hard more time because it ain't gonna be no second round, so you better hit him with all you got.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. Yeah, like I got to, because I know if the bill say Dean, I ain't gonna want to come out for no second round. I already know that.
Right.
And I hit him dead on the whop, and he fell.
Mm.
And the crowd said, "Oh!" And by me having that alcohol experience, it magnified them like, "Whoo-wee!" They rooting for me, and it was like, "Yeah!" I said, I knocked him out.
Mm.
And when that happened,
And you knocked him out. And did y'all fight? Y'all had headgear
yeah,
on?
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, amateur. My
Yeah.
first amateur fight,
Mm-hmm.
Golden Gloves.
Right.
Boom. So me and Jeff won his fight too. I'm like, man, we won. So I told Jeff, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna be drinking no beer now. I already know that.
Right. We ain't gonna do that again.
Not like this. Now I got by with the. So I left the beer alone, and I was smoking weed too, but I wasn't smoking outside. I left it alone, and I fought the second fight. Wow! Now I feel good. Now I knocked him out first round. I'm like, wow! I knocked him out too, first round. So my third fight was against. He became a big time promoter. I think he's a big time promoter now. His name is Bobby Hitz.
Mm.
Bobby Hitz ended up fighting George Foreman when
Mm-hmm.
George Foreman came back. But this is before he fought George Foreman. This is back when I was amateur and them fighting the Golden Gloves finals
Mm-hmm.
for the trophy. I fought this guy named Bobby Hitz. Bobby Hitz is, like I said, in Chicago. He's a big time promoter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He might be promoting now, but you could Google him. He's there.
Right.
But he fought me as an amateur, and I knocked him out in the first round. And it was on WGN Channel 9. It was
Mm.
it was broadcast
Yeah,
on TV.
right. So Chicago stations.
Yeah, but and if I'm not mistaken, the WGN was not just Chicago. They had it where it was in other places. The kind of that WGN back then.
Right.
But it was on television.
Mm-hmm.
Make a long story short. And then when I knocked him out, I was like, man, I'm the Golden Glove champion of Chicago. And what the thing about that was, they said, you know what? They said, you broke a record. I said, yeah, what record did I break? They said, we never had nobody to come in and heavyweight fighter to win the Chicago Golden Gloves and had all first round knockouts. They said, you the first one ever done that. So that was my first record. I don't know if it ever been broke yet or whatever. So that kind of magnified things. I was like, wow. So I was 3-0 with 3 knockouts.
All in the first round.
Yeah.
His Golden Gloves is what, 3 rounds?
Yep.
Yeah.
My amateur record, when it was all said and done, I was 31-1 with one disqualification, with 28 knockouts. I won every fight except that disqualification. I don't think I should have got disqualified, but that's what it was anyway.
Right.
And then I lost my last fight. They set me up on that, and that was my only time actually fighting intoxicated with. I mean, smoking weed because they set me up on that one. That last fight, that's what made me. I fought in Little Rock, Arkansas, in the Golden Glove Nationals, and they knew what they was doing. They set me up real nice. They gave me a bye. I didn't post to fight that night, and since I had a bye, we end up going to somewhere, and I end up smoking weed. And then all of a sudden, man, let's go see the fights. I said, man, I ain't fighting tonight, man. I'll fight tomorrow. They said, yeah, Oliver, but let's go and check out who we might fight. I said, okay. And I went, and then they say, what you doing? I said, I got a bye now. I was on the board and like everybody else. I come to just spectate.
Right.
No, you better get it. You ain't got no bye. You fighting tonight. I'm high. I'm just as high as a kite. I'm like, of marijuana. I'm like, no. So I goes in my dressing room. I go back to my hotel. I got to fight that night. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. I go in the hotel. I get in the shower, cold shower. I'm like, oh my, oh, and I'm fighting. And then yeah, I'm still high. And then went in the ring, and I was still high. And I end up losing the decision, and that made me so upset. I felt like I was set up, uh, uh, and so I said instead of fighting again, because wanted to go to the Olympics. I wanted to win. I really wanted to go to the Olympics, but that kind of just threw everything off. I said, well, I'm not. Now let me just bag up just a little bit. When I knocked out the guy in the third fight, when I first started, Elijah Thomas, he's a Muslim with the Nation of Islam, which I did not know about the difference between the Nation of Islam or Islam and Christianity. I didn't know what I know now concerning Jesus being the Son of God in Christianity. I knew a bit about that part, but I did not know that Islam didn't, they didn't put Jesus as the Son of God. I did not know that. God knows I didn't know. But that's a part of a whole different story. Anyway, Elijah Thomas, after I knocked out, had 3 first round knockouts, came to me and said, Oliver, don't get a job. Because I told him, I said, I got a baby coming, and I got to find a way to take care of, I got to get a job. So he said, no. He said, I'm going to give you $150 a week for you not to get a job, and we work things out. That's how I got affiliated with someone and end up affiliated with the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
That's how that started. I was able to take that $150 a week and take care of my daughter, Tawana, when she came, my first daughter, and Alethea, because she, everything. And that's how that happened. So that's how, and that happened definitely within 6 months. Because once I had that third round knockout, Elijah Thomas came to me and said, don't get a job. You should just box. He was like, I see something in you, man. You should just box. And so that's what I did. And I went and told Alethea. I said, Alethea, I'm getting $150 a week to box. I said, I told you. It was within 6 months. And she looked at me like crazy at first, like, who gonna pay you? Who gonna pay you? So she was kind of doubting it.
So the $150 a week is this what is it exactly for? Like, I mean, understand boxing, but what is it for? Your training or
It was
for sparring or what is it for?
Elijah Thomas. He had a cleaners. He cleaned clothes. That's what he do. He was a cleaner. He cleaned clothes and everything because he had his own cleaners, and he paid me out of his own pocket of him having the cleaners. He paid me $150 a week, to box and to train and continue to
Okay.
box amateur.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Okay, so I went from 3-0 to 31-1 with 28 knockouts.
Right. Okay.
And then that's when I turned pro.
Mhm.
Okay, after a couple of fights, how I got hooked up with Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson came to one of my professional fights in my early fights. Now this Tyson champion of the world,
Right. Okay. So he. Okay. Okay.
and since Tyson was there, and I think I had like 7 or 8 pro fights. I lost my second pro fight off me when I went to Vegas. The guy that I did beat to go to the national, Joey Christensen.
Mhm.
He was an Indian. That's who I lost my first fight to. I beat him in the national. I mean, in the Golden Glove, Milwaukee Golden Glove, because I was the Milwaukee Golden Glove champion, and I beat Joey Christensen. And I ended up fighting him my second pro fight. But I went to Vegas, and that's when I first met Tommy Hearns, and of course, uh, Emmanuel Stewart was there.
Mhm.
Uh, that's when Donald Curry knocked out Milton McCory. I fought on the undercard when Donald Curry knocked out Milton McCory.
Right.
And I was out and I won $400 gambling, shooting dice, uh, on in the casino the night before the fight.
Mhm.
I shouldn't have been gambling. I guess those bad habits came back when I was younger. My grandfather at his shop, his shoe shine shop, they used to gamble a lot. I came up around that situation.
Right.
The gambling, the shooting dice. I used to shoot dice in the hall when I was a kid, you know, back on 37 in Indiana. That's what we done. We pitched pennies. I beat you pitching pennies, and I win a couple of dollars, and I could shoot dice. I knew how to shoot dice.
Right.
So those was bad habits. They caught up with me in my boxing, and I got so carried away shooting dice at the casino where I won $400, but I lost the fight.
Mhm.
Because I was drinking. They give you free alcohol,
Right.
and so that's what made me lose to Joey Christensen, the guy that I beat in the Golden Gloves, Milwaukee Golden Gloves finals. I beat Joey Christensen, but I lost to Joey Christensen when I first went to Vegas. I ended up buying Alethea McCall a fur coat with that $400. I remember buying her a fur coat, not knowing that I lost the fight though. And I was 1-1.
So there's kind of a pattern starting here, but basically where you like where I mean you fighting, but you're not taking it as serious because you're not taking your training as serious because of, you
Exactly.
right.
But Tyson made change that all.
Okay, got
Me meeting Tyson. This is how I first met Tyson. I think I was like 7-1, 8-1 as a professional. I fought a guy, and Tyson was at the fight. Tyson's champion of the world.
you.
He was there with Don King. They came to the fight. I saw Tyson sitting there. I said, I'm finna take advantage of this. Just like I took advantage of when I first, back in the day, in my amateurs.
Mhm.
I knocked the guy out. And when I knocked him out, he went out the ring and was unconscious, but had his leg caught into a chair.
Oh, okay.
The referee called timeout. He woke up, but he trying to get his foot out the chair. So when he came to, I'm like, this dude is out. Ain't the fight over? But by him coming to, they pushed him back in the ring.
What?
I'm looking at him like, you know what, y'all off the chain now. What's going on? They pushed him back in the ring. I say, wait up. You mean I got to knock him out again?
Wow.
They say, yeah. I'm upset. Tyson sitting there looking, Don King looking, right at ringside.
Hmm.
I knocked him out. I said, you get up now. I was so pissed of what they was doing. I walked to Mike Tyson and I said, I'll knock you out just like that.
Wow.
That's how I became Mike
What
Tyson's
what did
spot.
Tyson say to you?
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
gotcha.
Bring it on. Bring it on. You know his little
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, yeah.
Bring it on. I was serious too, like you. They had me knock him out twice, and and it had me for cause you here. You know I got to not do that now. Now you know good well that fight supposed to been over.
Right.
I mean the fight. So I said, I'll knock you out just like that. 2 weeks later, they wanted me to come to a sparring session.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Thomas, he was with the Nation of Islam.
Gotcha.
He didn't want to take it. He said, "Man, Oliver, you know, Tyson go. If we take this and you go, he gonna take it out on you because he know. You see what you said, you know." I
Right.
said, "Yeah." I said, "I still want to go."
Right.
He looked at me. He said, "I don't think we should go." I said, "Elijah, we going. I want to go."
Right.
We flew to Atlantic City. This is the first day. They was paying me $1,500 a week. That was the deal.
That's pretty good.
So this would happen. The first day, this is a trip. Elijah Thomas was there.
Uh-huh.
He was just as nervous as could be. It's time, of course, I'm the first one that's gonna get in the ring. So it ain't like I'm seeing him box. When I got there and it was the first time I boxed Tyson, I'm gonna be the first guy who boxed Tyson.
Right.
So I'm getting ready. I'm looking at Elijah Thomas. He's shaking. I mean, he like, dude. I said, "Man, calm down. You be all right." I was like, "What's wrong? You okay?" He looked at me like, I said, "Man, just chill out."
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, "Man, you making me nervous. You."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "You're supposed to be with me now. We here." "Yeah, but." I said, "Man, chill out."
Yeah, he act like he the one that don't.
Okay. It was kind of annoying to me because
Right.
I'm psyching myself out like, this is my time. Got to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I'll be right back. It'll be cool." The bell say ding. I remember running. I didn't say, when the bell said ding, I ran over to his corner.
Right.
Wow.
Mhm.
And I and from then from that first punch
Mm-hmm.
went to 2.5 years later of me sparring with him.
Right.
But that first punch,
It established a precedent.
exactly.
Yeah.
After that sparring session was over, they blessed me with a $500 bonus. They say, "You know what? We never had nobody had a gall to do what you do." See, because Tyson was, oh man, Tyson got ready, and Tyson, he had that little slanty eye looking at me like, "Yeah, you know, I know who you are."
Right.
I'm like, "I'm glad you do know who I am.
Mhm.
Because today, you're going to know who I am." I mean, for real, this was the way out because I'm pumped up like, "Hey, let's do it." But the boxing went well. Uh, uh, it was nice. I was happy because I'm like, "Man, they gave me a $500 bonus off the first day."
Gotcha. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that right there was a yeah. So from that time on, me and Mike, we became cool too.
Yeah, but and I definitely heard who was the Evander Holyfield. He basically said that, people who wasn't scared of Tyson, Tyson couldn't bully.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was one of those guys. Uh, here's a story here, right quick. Tyson, Robin Gibbons. Robin Gibbons, he kind of liked me. This is real talk.
Gotcha.
He was really, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Robin Gibbons started to see me put some hands on
I
Tyson.
know you're on a personal level, so
Hey,
I know this is real.
right. Robin Gibbons kind of liked me. I used to put them hands on Tyson. And Robin Gibbons' mama, we was gambling, shooting dice. Me, Mike Tyson, Robin Gibbons' mama.
Is she down there with y'all?
Yeah. It's real talk.
Yeah,
We shoot him up.
I heard Robert Gill was you know,
Her mama now, her mama was not
yeah,
not Robert Gilbert, but her mama
good
was
though.
gambling.
Yeah,
We gambling.
right.
So, and I could gamble pretty good now, especially shooting dice. I knew how to shoot dice, so I
Yeah,
was winning
right,
pretty good. You know, I was losing, I wouldn't participate.
right, got
But by me knowing how to, and I'm winning, and Tyson gambling. Oh, bet it all, bet. I'm like, well, I ain't, but bet this much, and I'm winning. So next thing you know, I shoot a dice. I shoot, and one dice goes under the bed,
you.
and Tyson got me faded.
Right, got you.
Guess
Okay.
what Tyson do? He sticks his hand and get the dice
Uh-huh.
and put it on what the number he wanted to be, so it could be
But it,
7,
right,
and takes the
it takes the
money.
money.
You know, I'm like, dude, we ain't in the ring now. You need to put that money back.
Right.
Tyson like, oh, got 7. Tyson looked at me, and it didn't take a rocket scientist. I'm looking at him like, dude,
Uh-huh.
we don't got on gloves now. Now you finna put my money back there,
Yeah.
or it's on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Robin give his mama like, I mean, we got some people looking like all of us serious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, just like I'm serious when we do box. I got to protect myself. You trying to hurt me, dude.
Right.
He put it back.
Yeah.
I bet best move. And I kept on going, gambling, took my little money. So we had a situation where we bumped heads a little bit,
Right.
but he respected me for it now.
Well, I'm sure he did because I'm happy you clear up the truth of the rumor of this because I read a long time ago in Ring magazine that you had knocked Mike Tyson's teeth out.
No, I didn't knock his teeth out. I did knock his teeth out.
So
But what I did
where did
do,
that come from? Because it was definitely in Ring magazine.
I don't recall knocking his teeth out, but what I did do one time, if I'm not mistaken, now the 2 times that I did hurt him, other than physically hurt him, other than the time I knocked him down, which he really wasn't hurt, is just really his balance. He had evened up on me, and I hit him, and he went down, but I did knock him down. But the times I actually did inflict pain on him was before he fought Larry Holmes. I hit him. He had to go and get a operation, and because I knocked the blood vessel or something, where his nose was profusely bleeding.
Right.
And it's one time I hit him in the eye. We was with the big gloves, and I was like, wait, and I said, I can't. They said, well, Oliver, what's wrong? I said, man, y'all better wait, watch, look, y'all better stop this. And they was wondering what I was talking about, and I hit him so hard in the eye where his eyes was like a plum. He went out there.
Yeah.
I said, man, if I hit him again, I'm gonna cut him now. Look, and I took a picture because I took a picture of him with an ice pack on his eye, where I did swell his eye up pretty bad.
Right.
So those was I would say the 2 times that I definitely drew blood or bust him up.
Right.
I don't recall him ever hit. Now he can punch now, so that's first of all. So let's clear all that. But I could take a good punch.
Right. Of course.
So
we definitely know that.
yeah. So that's
that.
right. I could take a good punch.
Yeah.
I was able to take everything that he threw. Some of them hurt. You know, I could feel the pain. Yeah, but pain make me react to give pain though.
Mm-hmm.
But he never hurt me to the point to where I was disfigured or really bust up.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So that would make my confidence and my adrenaline come up. And unfortunately, my crack cocaine days was kind of starting, and it's times where
starting during the time of you.
It magnified off me getting all that money. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is this during the time that you're training with Tyson? That starting
No,
or
no.
this
Now
after?
here's the timeline,
Okay.
because I definitely got a timeline on that.
So let's start into the point where after the Tyson, when did you start just like your professional career started? This kind of take us into your professional career.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. It's when I got fired. It's when I got fired. That's when it really hit the fan. I got fired right after I lost to Buster Douglas. They fired me. Now I sparred with Tyson for Buster Douglas.
Right, because originally, right, you were supposed to be fighting Tyson if you would have won the Buster Douglas fight, right?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Right.
Uh, so when I lost to Buster Douglas, they was laughing one day, after I got done sparring with him, they laughed, ha ha ha. I'm like, what y'all talking about? And they looked at me, Aaron Snowell. It could have been you sparring, fighting Mike Tyson instead of Buster Douglas. And I looked, and excuse my vernacular, I don't have the way I say this. I said, hey, I'll be whooping your ass every day. I said, don't you underestimate Buster Douglas. That's what I told Mike Tyson.
Right. Right.
Now, when I told Mike Tyson that, of course, he stopped laughing. He stopped laughing because he knew I'd be whooping his ass at times, and I'd be like, "Yo, dude, now we still box now. We might box tomorrow. Now that don't mean it ain't like I'm gonna shrink up on you." They said, "Oh, I said that, so I can't. I got to watch my point." No, I wasn't. I was never like that.
Right.
So once I said that, that's when they put some game in there, and they deducted me $500, and I was going 6 and 8 rounds with this dude. And all other sparring partners could barely go 3 or 4 rounds with this dude,
Right.
with Tyson.
Right.
When they deduct my $500, that pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, since you deducted me $500, I'm going to go 4 rounds like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now, I already knew that by me getting up to 6 and 8 rounds, me whooping his ass, I already knew that 4 rounds, I'll stump a hole in your ass. That's how I felt.
Right.
Excuse this is how I felt.
Of course.
So a time came where I say, well, I'm finna show them. They should give me my money. So 4 rounds, I was first, and I went and I whooped his ass for 4 good rounds. But I threw everything in whooping him. I mean, because I wanted to show a point.
Mm-hmm.
It was round 5, but it was time for me to get out the ring because I already told him. If you'll give me my $500 back, I'm only gonna go 4 rounds. Aaron Snowell saw that I put everything in that 4th round, so Tyson took it, but I whooped him up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm finna get out the ring. They said, we want you to go another round. I said, give me my $500.
Mm-hmm.
No, you going another round. I said, no, I ain't. I done already made it clear. I went 4 rounds. Now I didn't tell them, but they knew that I put everything in that 4 rounds to make a point, which I made it pretty clear. Because Tyson was walking around there like getting his breath back to say, well, if he do go a 5th round, I still got to come up because I put it on him.
Mm-hmm.
But now Tyson getting his wind back about 2-3 minutes. Oh, go another round. I said, I quit then. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say I quit, I said, if I can't, I say, no, before I said I quit, I said, I gave my ultimatum. I said, I go 10 rounds. That means I go 6 more rounds. I said, I go 10 rounds right now if you give me my $500 back. No, you're going another round. I said, well, I quit. Then they said, you fired. I said, no, you ain't. I quit. When I left, I went to the Circus. I was staying at Circus. That's when I first lost my passport, because I had my passport. I ended up leaving my passport at the Circus.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent me home and everything. And I'm thinking now I'm finna be blackballed because Tyson was so up there as far as the.
Right.
I mean, he was the man.
It was the biggest thing.
He was the man. I mean, and they were looking at me like, how dare you talking about? And man, you should have got this one. I said no. Then I was like, man, I know I'm gonna get beat blackball. not knowing that when I got home, the night I went out on the bench too. I went getting high the night of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back that next morning and they say, guess what? I said, what? Tyson got knocked out.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I remember watching the fight.
It took me years. They didn't let me see Tyson for years.
Right.
I ended up fighting in 1991. I was blessed to fight Bruce Seldom. I had 3 week notice. The guy that he was supposed to fight, I think something happened to the fight and they need somebody to replace him. And my name came up. I'll never forget it. I was living in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and they said, Oliver, you take the fight. I said, oh yeah, I got to take the fight. I said, because I might not get an opportunity like this. And I had 3 weeks of training, and my dad didn't think I was gonna win that fight. I'll never forget that. My own dad. Now my dad's a boxing buff now.
All right.
My dad didn't think I should take the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Dad, I'm gonna win this fight. My wife at the time, and she was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna win this fight. So it came to a point where I said, if I lose this fight, I'm gonna quit. That was the fight. I mean, the pivotal point in my career. If I lost that fight with Bruce Seldom, I think I was gonna retire. So I went ahead and trained for that fight. And when the fight came with me and Bruce Seldom, I said, I'm gonna walk him down. I said, and I was real tenacious that fight. That fight there,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember telling my mother-in-law, my wife, they didn't think I was gonna win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I knocked him out, and then going into the ninth round, I ended up beating him down.
Mm.
It was a good fight. One of my best fights
Right.
was the me and Bruce Seldom fight, because Bruce Seldom wasn't no easy win.
No, it was not.
I mean, he hit me with some nice shots one couple of rounds. Now if you watch that fight, but I was determined to beat him down.
Right.
And when that happened, and I got ranked in the top 10, they disappointed me then because he was ranked. I think he was ranked. They got me ranked number 10, and they ranked Bruce Seldom higher than me, even though I knocked him out.
Right.
So I've
Yeah,
experienced a
how
lot
does
of
that work?
disappointment. Okay. So I experienced a lot of different types of disappointments going to me becoming champion myself.
Right.
You know, but it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to withstand the storm, even under the situation of my addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started smoking crack before my first pro fight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was persuaded by some young ladies right on 39th in Indiana. I remember. Matter of fact, they got a church that was built right across the street from where I first smoked crack. It's a church right there,
Mm-hmm.
right on 39th in Indiana, in Persian Road. It's a church right there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to that church. I was like, you know what? Who would ever thought I would? Yeah, and it's right by Wendell Phillips High School. That was the last high school I attended. Uh, I went to Wendell Phillips High School uh, after I left Park High School,
Mm-hmm.
because I was a Park Panther. I did play basketball a year at Park High School.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's kind of like leading up to basically you becoming the fight with Lennox Lewis. So
Oh wow.
yeah, we're talking about the first fight. So
Right,
the
right,
fight, the
right.
first
That's the
fight with
oh
Lennox
wow.
Lewis.
That's the oh wow.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I saw some gaps and some things that Lennox Lewis would do that I could take advantage of.
So first, how
Yeah.
did that come about? Like, how did it come about you even getting the shot to fight Lennox Lewis? Because
Wow.
you talk about how you had some disappointments and things of that nature. So how did it come to you getting your shot?
Well, right now, looking at hindsight and what's been going on in the sport of boxing and the politics of boxing, I definitely do know that Emmanuel Stewart definitely had a hand in that. Uh,
Right. And he was his trainer and your trainer, right? Both.
yes,
Didn't he train both of you guys?
yes,
Okay, gotcha.
yes. And the thing was that Emmanuel Stewart had a deal basically uh, with Lennox Lewis people
Hmm.
as far as they thought I was going to be like a tune-up. And after that fight, now that's the reason. The reason why I say this, and I know this to be a fact to a certain extent, is right after I knocked out Lennox Lewis, Don King called me to his room the next day
Hmm.
before I flew to Concord to go to New York City, and I'm the champion and all this. Some things happened that I am positive that they was in cahoots,
Mm.
and Emmanuel Stewart was just training me for that one fight.
Right.
Uh, and it didn't happen the way they thought it was
They,
going to
yeah,
happen.
expect, yeah, yeah. Because you came in as the underdog, a
Yes,
heavy underdog, actually.
yes,
Yeah.
but the things that I did pick up and learn from Emmanuel Stewart stuck with me
Hmm.
as far as boxing skills and skill sets. I learned some things from Manny Stewart, just like I learned some things from Georgie Benton, just like
Hmm.
I learned some things from Richie Giacchetti, and so on and so forth. Because I didn't have several great trainers, Hall of Fame
Right.
trainers in my career.
Right.
I think personally that I could have became heavyweight champion of the world if Richie Giacchetti would have been my trainer. Just like Richie Giacchetti was a great trainer for Larry Holmes.
Right. Gotcha.
You get me?
Hmm.
Me and Richie Giacchetti, our birthday on the same day, just like his brother Bobby. So it was me, Richie, and Bobby.
Hmm. Oliver, Richie, and Bobby. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. These are
So,
two twins. They twins too. They
okay,
twin
good.
brothers.
Right.
Born on April 21st.
So let's kind
So
of let's go back to fight night.
yeah,
So fight night, man. You get a shot. You fight Lennox Lewis, right, for the WBC heavyweight champion of the world,
yeah,
championship of the world.
yeah.
So tell me your thoughts and how you feeling and thinking that at that time, and just come on, take us through the fight, make it real for us.
Well. First of all, I thought about the things that he said that actually made the fight transpire, because it wouldn't happen if this incident didn't happen precisely like it happened. It was a press conference and so I forgot who got up there right now. They got up there and they was talking about how Don King or somebody was giving them presents or whatnot. Lennox Lewis's mama, how they was treating his mama, and they was disrespecting my mama. That's what really
Mm,
happened.
right.
And when I got up, I remember taking off my coat and I said, "Hold my coat, please." And I remember going up to the stair to the microphone, and I said, I come this far, fight for the heavyweight title. I said, I might not fight. It might not be a fight. And they looking at me like, where you going with this? It might not be a fight. Now it's a press conference. What all of a sudden? It ain't gonna be no fight now.
Everybody in panic.
They say, and he got his coat off.
Right.
Now who he mad at? And Lennox Lewis is sitting right to my. I mean, I'm standing at the podium, and Lennox Lewis sitting right at my right.
Right.
I looked at Lennox. I looked at everybody. I said, "Y'all talk about my mama." I brought up my mama thing because they were talking about how they gave Lennox Lewis mamas all these gifts, and it was putting me like they was disrespecting my mama.
Right.
I said, "It ain't gonna be no fight." I said, "I fight this fight, I'll be a millionaire. La la la. I'm on my way. La la la." I say that might not happen. They look like, well, how? I
Right.
say, because if you and once I told them why, I looked at Lennox Lewis. I looked at everybody there. I say, let one of y'all stand up right now. Stand up. Just stand up. And I looked at Lennox Lewis, and I was serious. If he would have stood up. Now I remember Tyson ended up fighting him. I would have crushed that dude. I mean, And Lennox Lewis looked at me, and I could see through his eyes. I looked at him like, dude, you stand up. Just stand up. I guarantee you, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis looked at me like, dude, I'm not. And I shut it down.
Right.
And I sat down. I walked. I, I walked to Lennox Lewis' mother. When I walked to Lennox Lewis' mother, I looked at Lennox Lewis' mother. I said, "Pardon me, ma'am." I say, "No disrespect." I say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. No disrespect about you or nothing like. You know what Lennox Lewis' mama looked at me
What's that?
and she looked at me like, I hear you. She looked at me and her answer, her response was like, boy, I wish my son was like that. I mean, this is what I saw when I walked to his mama. Because I said, wait up now, everybody else, y'all kids, y'all whatever. I say, but I have to go to his mama because it ain't no way I would disrespect his mama like that.
Right.
I remember walking to, and his mama sit back, and when I apologized, I said, I got to apologize to you, ma'am, because it wasn't you his mother, and I know you love your son, but I know you didn't have nothing to do with this.
Right.
She looked at me like, who we,
Right.
like my son could, I wish my son would stand up for me like that.
Right. It was just a respect.
It was a respect.
Gotcha.
And when she gave me a look like, yeah, like I feel you. And so once she done that, I walked back, and Manny Stewart and them and the people say, this fight's over. They looked and say, did you see the way Lennox Lewis looked at you when you told him? I said, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And when we walked to the center of the ring,
Demise.
I saw it then. Then it was all about my adrenaline and just when I sat down that first round,
Mm-hmm.
I think Emmanuel Stewart said, yeah, you're throwing the left hook, it's kind of clumsy. I said, yeah, come back with the right hand. I already said, matter of fact, I said the punch that I'm finna knock him out with, if they show the recording properly, I said, yeah, throw that left hook and come back with the straight right hand.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he came out with them power jabs, I think he hit me with one of them as I faded back to the rope.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm finna stand my ground. And when you step to me, dude, it's on. I ain't finna do all this. I ain't finna try to weave away. I say, so, and he done this, and I done that, and I just can't get, and I hit him dead in his mouth.
Down the middle, yeah.
Dead in his mouth, because I know he got stitches there, because all this was popped out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I hit him, I said, that's it. And that Pacific punch is the punch that I think I hit my sparring partners at least maybe 20 to 30 times over the training session.
Mm-hmm.
It was this guy named Biko from Africa, if I'm not mistaken. His name was Biko, and this dude could take a punch, and he was a big old dude. And I would practice. Yow! I hit him. I say, that's the punch I'm gonna knock him out with. Yeah. And then I say, next, I put another sparring partner in there. Yeah! I say, that's the punch. That's it. And that was the punch. That was it.
I listened to your your interview after the fight. Was it really easier than you thought it was gonna be? Or was you just saying that at the
Not
time?
really, but my adrenaline, my adrenaline, it's like no, but then yes.
Right.
It's like I mean I'm being real. It's like no because the manifestation still got to take place,
Right.
and that takes action along with your confidence.
Yeah.
But I kind of it was like surreal to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. It was just like, well, this is it. I say, well, got to take advantage of it, and but what I did take from that though uh, kind of make me handle things. It kind of made me handle things like what went through my mind, and as we drove through the parking garage
Mhm.
and certain things there, uh, and I was like, well, who knows? To live is Christ, to die is gain. If something, like we sitting here now, uh, what's that? Ron DMC.
Mhm.
What's the guy that got killed when they was doing
Jam Master Jay.
yeah,
Mhm.
that went through my mind
Yeah.
as we were coming here. And that right there, it did go through my mind,
Wow.
but then God went through my mind too. Like, well, Lord, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Uh, it's it.
Yeah.
And that it made me slow down and just live it now. Now you got to live it. It was and I mean, I know one day I have to go,
So,
but that's just life. You got to
right.
go. But I'd
So,
rather go with a bang than to go, oh, please. Oh, no. No, 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 no,
so
no.
let's kind of go into
God been
like
too good to me. Go
so
ahead.
you after you had a fight, you have four more fights before the rematch with Lennox, right? And you wind up losing to Frank Bruno, right?
No, I only had one title defense. It's called, and that came through my mind too. Today,
Okay.
burden of proof.
That was the
Caesar,
Larry Holmes.
yes,
Okay.
at Caesar's Palace, burden of proof.
Right.
And yeah, the burden of proof, because it's a proof that it was was this just a one punch knockout? Was that just a lucky punch? And what
Mm-hmm.
I learned from that is Larry Holmes actually, I learned more in fighting Larry Holmes, even at the age that he was at, than I did with anybody. Larry Holmes, I admire Larry Holmes. I thank God for Larry Holmes. I was blessed to meet his wife and his people. And I remember they was trying to get over on Larry Holmes one time when we was all out at Caesar's. Well, I think it was Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Yeah, and he was playing cards, and by me gambling, knowing how to gamble, they was trying to disrespect Larry Holmes. I'm a champ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had to like, wait up, Larry. In this situation, you need to bet all your money and we end up winning that money, and we spent that money that we won. But I had to give him some advice on that situation, and I remember his wife sitting there, and his wife looked at me because Larry Holmes still with his wife. They praise God through thick and thin, praise God,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so. Larry Holmes, I admire Larry Holmes. Uh, I also was definitely a Muhammad Ali fan.
Right.
I was at the president's house. The president wasn't there, but the acting president was there, and I ended up telling Muhammad Ali a story about when I was about 12 years old, and I was walking, and my dad said something, and I looked back at my dad, and I said, I wish Muhammad Ali was my daddy, and I was flying through the air. I remember telling Muhammad Ali,
Good.
Razor Ruddock was there.
Uh,
He was one of them, of course, that was there at that time. I think we was in Rome or Italy, because
mm-hmm.
I got fighter of the year. I was champion of the world. And I remember telling Muhammad Ali that story. And I said, who would have ever thought, in a way, that came true to a certain extent, because that's how I felt about Muhammad Ali and what he accomplished as a fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and just as a person of integrity and his zeal.
Mm-hmm.
He had a zeal about himself. And I was also blessed to talk with Muhammad Ali a little bit about a month or two before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
His wife said some things that was kind of disturbing, and they ended up taking the ring that I talked to Muhammad Ali in. They removed that ring. It was in Chicago on 39th and Pershing Road. Yeah, that ring.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, right a couple of blocks from where I started boxing
Right.
on Princeton. Yeah, 43rd and Princeton. So A lot of things take place, and
Yeah.
people will use things for other things that good and bad. That's just life.
All right. So like you go you have a fight to fight against Frank Bruno. You lose in a unanimous decision in
Hmm.
12 round unanimous decision to Frank Bruno. So then after that you have the second fight with Lennox Lewis,
But
right?
let's stop there for
Okay.
just a second on a Frank Bruno.
Hmm.
Frank Bruno plays a big part in my boxing career as far as me becoming champion way before I met Tyson.
Gotcha.
I sparred with Frank Bruno before I sparred with Mike Tyson.
Okay.
The first time I left out of the country was to fight Frank Bruno. If I'm not mistaken, that's when he got knocked out by Tim Witherspoon.
Mhm.
I bust his eye. I remember the first time I sparred with Bruno, I gave him a nice big old shiner, and I thought they were gonna fire me. And yeah, I had a this. I was his sparring partner. I was Frank Bruno's sparring partner before I was Tyson's sparring partner.
Mhm.
I mean, we going way back. I mean, I haven't had 10 pro fights yet.
Right.
And my first time I had I left the country, was to spar with Frank Bruno. And Frank Bruno, I was scared to ride in the car with him after he drove me back because I realized how reckless they drive over there in Europe. And I was like so glad I'm like, man, I'm just glad you let me out. But me and Frank Bruno was real cool. I liked the Frank Bruno.
Mhm.
And I had to ease up on Frank Bruno because I thought they might fire me because I had gave him a nice shiner the first time I sparred with him. So I had to ease up, not knowing that was going to affect me of my preparation for him in defending my title against Frank Bruno. I shouldn't have done that. I should have went ahead and took the $10 million to have the rematch with Lennox Lewis, but I did not know how deep the conspiracy was between Emmanuel Stewart and Don King. Uh, yeah,
Right.
yeah, that situation.
Yeah, we're gonna get there with the Don King situation too, because I kind of definitely want to kind of talk about some of those things
Yeah, yeah,
that you can relate to, because
yeah,
Tyson has spoken a lot about it. So
yeah, yeah.
so we go into the Lennox fight, right? So
The
where
second, the second fight.
the
Yeah,
second one, right?
yeah.
So where's your mind frame going into this fight? Like what had happened? Like,
My mind frame was kind of scattered
hmm
because I saw and I picked up that it was a conspiracy bigger than me, bigger than the situation of boxing. I realized I come to the conclusion years ago that whatever was going on was bigger than boxing itself, and it's here.
hmm
It's here. It's literally here on a world scale
hmm
with what's been shown to me and God's mercy and grace on me and what got me right now where I don't have to worry about going to get a drink or smoking marijuana. Uh, so I'm experiencing now some things that I dreamed about, some things that the Lord had shown me back then.
hmm
And I used to think that I wouldn't even be alive to experience what I dreamed and some of the things that I experienced when I dreamed in jail, when I was definitely in Virginia.
hmm
Uh, some of the things that God has shown me uh, when I'm at my own house, in the bed with my wife, certain dreams and things that I experienced. Now I'm living it out.
hmm
Uh, and I thank God that He's blessing me with the courage, the spiritual fortitude, and the tenacity to walk it through now. I can walk it through now more, knowing that the Lord has my back, uh, knowing that God would never leave me nor forsake me, knowing that things it's going to turn out well
Right.
if I just continue to abide. My thing is to abide. If I abide in Christ,
Mhm.
Christ's gonna continue to abide in me, and I believe I will hear that well done, good and faithful servant enter in.
Mhm.
That climaxes any experience that I ever experienced, uh, period. Because it's an eternal reward for those that hear that enter in. Now, if you get that, I never knew you, and get rid of them. I never knew you, and you get thrown in the lake of fire.
Mhm.
You have eternity there too, and it's not nothing nice.
Right.
That's what I'm at.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah,
So, with that being said, basically, like, uh, I'm sure these are things that that you've come to learn now. I mean,
exactly.
but so like definitely going into that fight, right? So, um, you're um with knowing that or whatever the world and that the conspiracy was bigger than
But I
just
didn't know back
boxing,
then. I was,
but you knew, but you had the idea that there
I
was
had an unction.
yeah
All right,
that there was
something
something
ain't right.
wrong, right? Something wasn't right, right?
What's
So
going on?
so basically coming
Why
into that
me?
fight, that's kind of where your head space is too,
Right,
right? Coming
right,
into this
right,
fight.
right.
So but and that's mixed with because you still going through your addiction at the time too,
Then
right?
I had a tax problem where I had back taxes that they told me I had to pay, and I wanted to pay my taxes. I
Right,
really did. So that was a hindrance. That was a hindrance. They're like, man, you got to fight. So I said, you know what? Even though whatever's going on that I can't put my finger on it exactly why it's going on, I do want to pay my taxes
right,
and everything. So that what made me kind of like, okay, I'm gonna fight the fight now. But then I was trying to warn my loved ones, which was my kids, not to watch the fight because talking to a psychiatrist, his name was Dr. Burley. I told Dr. Burley, I said, time gonna come in that fight well, I'm gonna stop fighting. I ain't gonna get knocked out. He said, how you gonna do that? I said, I don't know, but it's gonna happen. And it did happen, literally. It literally happened like that. Uh, and yes, who knows? A time may
yeah,
come
because
when we
you know
can
that
release those. I'd be willing to even release those because it's down. It's written. It's because I'm pretty
right.
sure he made
I've
notes of
actually, well, yeah. I mean, I've looked at some interviews that he has done that he actually talks about you. So, but
it. Yeah.
Dr. Berry, but he doesn't release any of that stuff that you're
Well,
saying.
I understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
but he does talk about what he feel like was going on with you psychologically, right, during
Right.
the fight
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
there's been people who said that they believe that Don King, that the fight was actually set up or whatever. I mean, if you just watch the fight, it doesn't seem that way at all.
No, it wasn't. It
Right,
wasn't like that. Don King didn't actually, but I think really because Don King being a businessman, the shrewd, I would say put that there, shrewd businessman like he is, and he has become. He was he was covering all his bases to a certain extent. Uh, win or lose by you being a promoter, either way, you're gonna be able to manipulate and enhance what you even need to enhance to
right.
carry on as far as the next fight and the next money and how you get paid.
Well, I know you didn't throw the fight anyway because
No,
they withheld your purse after the
no,
fight.
I didn't throw the fight.
Yeah, so
No, I didn't throw the
yeah,
fight.
they withheld your purse.
I almost snapped out of it and was about to fight. I'm
Right.
like, no, I don't post it. I don't post I'm dumb bad. It was almost like for real. It was almost like when I was in there with Mike Tyson, he's like, we want another round. I ain't give you another round. I'd rather quit. It
Yeah.
was like that, but on a bigger stage. It was I'm like, wait up now, you messing with my intelligence. I mean, for real, you're insulting my intelligence now. I mean, I just can't have that.
Right. So there was other things. There was a lot of things going on in the background
Yes,
that people don't really understand
right.
about because they basically trying to say that you had a mental breakdown or
No,
whatever. That I mean, that's what
no,
the internet is basically saying.
no.
But me knowing you, whatever, saying
Right.
on a personal level, I understand a lot more about the
Okay.
situation.
Right,
That
right.
there was a lot of other things going on in the
Mm.
in the background or
And they
whatever.
use my weaknesses and emotions in my heart against me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how dare you? You know, that's cruel and unusual punishment. That's the way I looked at it.
Right.
I called my oldest daughter. I said, "Don't look at the fight now, Daddy. What you gonna do? Why?" I said, "Y'all just don't look at this fight." And that's
Right.
what I told my
So
kids.
you already knew this before. This ain't nothing that just happened while you was in the ring. This was something you already knew you were gonna do before you even went
And I
into
was
the
like,
fight.
"Lord, I don't know how it's gonna come out, but and I was all right. You know, I ended up, where I wasn't physically beat up or beat down or nothing like that.
Right.
I remember, yeah, it was crazy,
Right.
but I got through it. I got past it. My next fight, when I fought a guy that put Ernie Shavers in retirement. I remember when I fought him, and Ernie Shavers' wife was my counselor, also mentor counselor, whatnot. And I remember the guy. He's like, I'm gonna put you in retirement, just like I done Ernie Shavers. And I like Ernie Shavers. I'm an Ernie Shavers fan. And I remember putting them hands on him. I mean, something terrible. I was like, yo, and they hollered, he gonna start crying in a minute. Now this is after the second fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go through some ridicule for some years.
Right.
I mean, some downright laughing, a mockery,
Yeah.
all those things. But lo and behold, God blessed me to win 6 different titles, one world title, the WB. I think it was the WBA. Now I won a WBC, but I'm 2-time world title champion.
Oh, okay.
I won another world champion. I became world champion again after the Lennox Lewis second fight,
Right.
and I won 6 different minor titles, the WBC, Intercontinental, all this, the all those belts in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
From 40 to 45, I won some belts. And right now, I got some other things that I'm wanting to accomplish. One of them is, if so happen, before I retire, I want to really experience, if it can happen. I'm not going to be trying to make it happen. If I could get knocked down and get up and see how I act off me getting knocked down, for real.
That's the thing, and I want
I never
I want the
experienced
listeners
that.
to know in all your fights, 100 fights or whatever,
Whether I win or
you've
lose,
never been knocked down and you've never been knocked out in your career.
right?
Right.
So, but the knockout, I don't want to experience that.
Right. Of course.
What happened?
Smelly salt.
Do you remember? Well, I can remember all that other stuff, but what happened on this one? God forbid.
Step into the light, Caroline.
But I actually want to experience. Uh, I mean, not. I ain't talking about faking it.
No.
It means nothing
Right.
when you fake it. I want to actually experience getting knocked down legitimately and have to get back up and finish the fight, whether I win or lose. It doesn't matter, but to finish it.
Just to see,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just to have that experience.
Know why? I was looking at Sugar Ray Robinson, and to me,
Mhm.
Sugar Ray Robinson was the greatest fighter of all times.
Right. And that's
The
crazy
things
because
that
the debate is usually between Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. So that's
the
awesome.
reason why Sugar Ray Robinson is the greatest of all time, because this dude got up off the mat and lost belts and came back and beat up. I mean, if you really, really scrutinize and look at the Sugar Ray Robinson fights and the times where his fortitude, his tenacity, I mean, was above
Right.
to me.
Right.
And I think that he went through some things of regaining that title again. And when he got knocked down all those times, he still got it. And when he got beat, he came back and then put them hands on him. If you really dissect his career, no heavyweight, Ali either, Tyson either. I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson, the man.
Right.
To me,
Got you.
yeah. Especially in the times too.
Mhm.
So we talking back then where they wasn't for. I mean, Ali had a little give there on because the times. But back when Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting, then and he was whooping them white boys, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It was, and he was beating them down.
gotcha.
And when he lost to one, he come back and beat him down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I definitely, yeah, definitely,
Yeah, you got to check out Sugar Ray
yeah.
Robinson.
Uh, I've been, yeah,
And check out his
I've seen a
achievements,
few.
how many times he came back and won it.
Gotcha. I'm definitely read up on him a little more.
Yeah, and then the opposition that he had to go through and still,
Right, and that's the true heart of a
Sugar Ray
champion.
Robinson.
That's the true heart of a champion.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't care what weight you're in. I mean, he was able to check him out.
yeah.
Check out his
Will
stats.
do.
His stats is impeccable.
So basically, what is what are your plans for the future now?
Well, first of all,
I mean, where are you at? You know, what are you doing now, and what are your plans?
right now, hopefully, who knows? On the 2nd of June, I might be fighting Jeremy Williams. And, you know, Jeremy Williams uh, had the same trainer as Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I might be doing something with him. Hopefully, God's will.
So he had the same trainer as Mike Tyson
Kevin Rooney.
recently.
Kevin Rooney.
Oh, Kevin Rooney. Yeah, got you.
Kevin Rooney trained Jeremy Williams.
Mhm.
Jeremy Williams is a good fighter. If
Mhm.
you just check him out. And if that fight don't come off, or even if that fight do come off, and that's 2 weeks from tomorrow, June the 2nd, I talked to a promoter where I might be doing something uh, Aikiabuchi in
Okay.
Africa. And I think that I would love to go to Africa and do that with Aikiabuchi. The government might be paying for this fight, and by the government paying for it, I want to be on my best behavior, and because I've never been to Africa,
Right.
and I know how I feel about the people there. I know how I feel about certain things that's going on there,
Mhm.
and it'll be an honor to just go there, and I probably want to hang out a little bit with them, win or lose.
Got
And I think
it's still a win just being able
and
to
the
go.
government is paying. I think that payout from like the government it might pay me something between 30,000 to 50,000,
Gotcha.
and the government paying.
Hmm.
So I want to be able to give my all to the people there in Africa.
Hmm.
Win or lose, who knows? It might be the fight where Ike Ibuchi knocked me down, and I have my opportunity to get back up. Win or lose.
Right.
So I got some exciting things coming, hopefully,
Okay.
God's will. You know, so I'm getting ready, prepared a bit. Got to focus a little bit on some things because of the distractions. But I ran today, had a nice little running, and I analyzed some things on what I could do better to stay focused or whatnot.
Hmm.
Because I want to definitely be at my best. You know, so if I did get knocked down, I could be at my best to end better, end the fight. I don't want to get knocked down just to get knocked out. That'll
Right.
be a double whammy.
Well, I know you. I know. I definitely hear you saying that. You know, this is experience you want to go through, but I definitely don't want you to have that experience. I want you to go out, you know, just how you are right now. You know, like no knockdowns, no knockouts.
But I'm being a realist. I'm trying to be real.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you're still fighting in
And
your.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
training. I don't think I'm gonna get knocked down though. God's will. God knows my thoughts.
Right.
Just because I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm just trying to be real on this. You know, and who knows? That situation with Henry Akawande, you know, because I'm the only guy who ever knocked him out.
Okay.
You know, and he lost the fight against the champ, and but he got disqualified for holding.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you know that's different. But I knocked him out. I did knock him out in the last round, and so that's one of my biggest fights that I got that, and he's 6'7". One more guy that I would like to do something with is what's his name? The biggin.
Big and
The biggest champion. What's his name? Fury, Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury. Yeah, yeah.
I will fight him for nothing. That hasn't changed. I don't want to get paid for him, and I think I put them hands on him, the champ.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You hear that,
For
Tyson Fury?
for
You hear that?
disrespecting, trying to get me to fight my son Elijah.
Okay.
You know, back in
So
the
he was trying to get you
back
to fight your son, or he was
no,
trying to fight him?
he wanted to fight Elijah,
Okay.
my son. And my son never had no amateur fights, and he was trying to get me to try to convince my son to help him. This is before he became champion of the world.
Right.
So this don't got nothing to do with him becoming champ.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him as being the champ, great champion. I mean, I'm with that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is personal.
Got you.
I like Tyson Fury on certain points, but that's my son, and he would have had my son on his resume
Mm-hmm.
unjustly. So, and I remember when they asked me, I said, "Fight me." No, we don't fight you. Well, I fight Tyson Fury like for nothing.
Right. So Tyson,
And I could be,
yeah, he's saying that,
and if I get knocked down, who knows?
Like,
You
don't
could be
duck
the
these
first
blows.
one to knock. And
Yeah.
listen, I fight Tyson Fury
Right.
for nothing.
For nothing. Don't duck these blows, Tyson.
The money that comes in, I give it. I got a lot of different agencies for kids and all types of things helping kids and over there in Africa, all types of places that need some money now, and we can have all that go there. Y'all just buy me a nice dinner afterwards, and I'm all right. Because Tyson Fury really got under my
Got up under your skin.
that dude.
Gotcha.
I mean, that dude for nothing. And let's see if he could be the first to knock me down. I get up and see the old chap and old chum. And Lord knows it'll be for what you was trying to get my son to be a victim, be one of your victims. Well, I'll knock you out for nothing. That's me, from my heart. That's me.
And I believe you'll knock him out too.
I believe so too.
I definitely believe it.
Yeah. If not, I'm sure gonna give it that try.
Yeah. And they don't call you the atomic bull for nothing.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
Yo. So in Tyson Fury, we still cool. We'll be all right.
All right. So you know what though? We're gonna
Put that out there.
Yeah, we're gonna
for nothing. You don't have to pay me, so you can't say, well, he trying to get paid. No, he trying to I'm sorry to say, but although he trying to get paid for this. Right. But he sure trying to do something now. And I'm willing to, hey, who knows? You might could be that guy that knocked me down. I'd rather accept that than if I would accept you fighting my son at that point of his career. He never had no amateur fights at all. Dude. And that kind of threw that's personal. That's I love my son. No, that's just me on that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a call out right there. So
that's a call out.
Hey,
you still my dude,
Tyson Fury. I'm sure you're gonna hear this, man. And hey, definitely send your response, man.
That's right.
Let's don't duck these blows, man.
Right.
I heard you a blow ducker. So
let's get it on. Let's make it happen.
We get that on.
I mean, for real. Let's make it happen. And when we could, have a lot of money going to a lot of different charities for people and for the kids. Definitely for the kids.
Right.
I definitely got some. Yeah. And that'll be a blessing. I mean, for real.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you know what? We're gonna. I think that's a wrap, man. We're gonna get out of here with that one.
God bless you.
Put it all out there.
Love you, nephew.
Love you too, man. Thank you for coming through.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and that's another episode of Dismissed, and we out of here.
God bless. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Mr. 100 Crisis to you folks.